Welcome back to the BreakThrough Podcast. My name is Omar Muhammad, helping you improve and progress in business and in life. We're in year four. Can't believe it. We are in year four of the BreakThrough Podcast. I wanted to come on to share with you what's going to happen with episodes number 4 through 9. We are actually going to take you back to the conference. So you'll hear from individuals who participated in our annual Ride Impact Conference. So in episode 4, you'll hear the welcome, me, as well as you'll hear from Vanessa Bright. She is the founder of the Maryland Reentry Resource Center. Then we'll have a legislative update and inspiration from Thalin Tolman. So you'll hear from that. In episode 5, you'll hear the keynote. In the keynote, I'm interviewing, it's really the BreakThrough Podcast. I'm interviewing 3 entrepreneurs who were formerly incarcerated. So you'll hear their story and hear how they're operating their business. Episode 6, we go into, and let me back up. So the conference really focused on what we call path. There's always a new pathway to whatever you're looking to do. If you're looking to build a business, better your life, there's a new path. So each one of those, the PATH, we created a workshop for that. So in episode 6, you'll hear from Chris Taylor. He's with SCORE Service Corps of Retired Executives, and he'll talk about the path to economic growth. Episode number 6, you'll hear from Shay Cook, and she'll talk about access to financial freedom. Episode 8, you'll hear from Dr. Paul Archibald, and he'll talk about transferable skills. And then finally, episode number 9, you'll hear from Tanya Charles, and she'll focus on health and wellness. And then after episode 9, we'll continue our traditional where we'll bring in studio individuals who were formerly incarcerated, who are now entrepreneurs, as well as organizations that are supporting those individuals. So stay tuned. We're in for an impactful year. Look forward to hearing from you. And as always, if you're interested in being a guest or looking to recommend a guest, please email me, omar@edacmorgan.com, and that's omar@edacmorgan.com. Until we see each other again, continue to improve and progress. Peace. All right, so this is a segment where, last year we had a keynote speaker. This year we decided to do something different, to have those individuals who were formerly incarcerated to talk about their entrepreneurial journey. So you see we have 3 individuals here. I'm not going to normally facilitators or moderators, they kind of hog up all the questions. I have 2 questions because we only have about 30 minutes. And I know Tashika and Sandy can talk. I'm just being honest. I assume you can talk as well.
I can talk, but I want my son playing down the street.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So let me kind of open it up with this. So we also do a podcast called the BreakThrough Podcast. And this is going to be part of the BreakThrough Podcast. So let me go ahead and open it up with that, and then we'll introduce our guests, and we'll go from there. All right, so here we go. Welcome to the BreakThrough Podcast. My name is Omar Muhammad, helping you improve and progress in business and in life. The BreakThrough Podcast is brought to you by the Minority Business Development Agency, empowered by EDAC, the Entrepreneurial Development and Assistance Center at Morgan State University. Welcome. I want to welcome everybody. All of our resources can be found on our website at edacmorgan.com. That's EDACmorgan.com. So as always, we have some special guests in studio. We're in studio, y'all. And I'm gonna go from left to right. And as I do that, if you could just briefly tell everybody a couple things. I'm gonna introduce your name, but if you could tell what type of business you have. So Tashika, we'll start with you. What type of business do you have? Well, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you, and then your business.
My name is Tashika Booker, and I was the second cohort winner of the pitch competition. I have a business called Get Laced, which I provide hair loss solutions for cancer patients and domestic violence victims. Is my targeted clients, but I assist many clients that really come to me. And the RIDE program has really assisted me with flourishing my business basically from start to the point of where it is now.
All right, good deal. We'll give people an opportunity to ask a question. I know I said we're gonna go left to right, but I want to make sure the women get it first.
Absolutely, as you should.
Kiana, same question.
Hey everyone, my name is Kiana, my pronouns are she, her, and I am the founder and executive director of two organizations. The first organization is Life After Release. It's a nonprofit organization, and the other organization is Harriet's Wildest Dreams. Both of these organizations are both nonprofit organizations. And then I also have my consulting business on the side in which I do reentry and consultation.
All right, and she has that famous hat and T-shirt on Morgan State University. All right, Sandy, you go Bears. That's right.
No Bears. I'm Sammy Ricks, for those who don't know. I am the owner of SQS Remote Staffing, where we connect people to work from home remote jobs, so like companies like Home Depot, Disney, Carnival Cruise Line, QuickBooks. Um, that's me.
All right, all right. All right, so the next question I'll ask is, when we're doing the podcast, we always ask the question, when you came home, were there abundant resources out there to get started in business? So, Kiana, we're gonna start with you, then Sammy, and then Tashika.
No, there wasn't. I'm based in Prince George's County, Maryland. I was born in DC, but raised in Prince George's County, Maryland, and there was absolutely no resources available when you came home about starting your own business. Most of the resources, if any, were pushing you towards some type of job like McDonald's or some type of hard skill customer service type position. And that was it.
Yeah, yeah. Same question, Sam.
There were a lack of resources when I came home to study entrepreneurship and to chase my dreams. There was really no resources. I actually heard of the RIDE program through a friend who liked what I was doing and thought that it would be a great fit. And luckily I found you guys, which is the best resource, which I think for returning citizens like myself. But yeah, there's a lack of resources for returning citizens, I believe.
Okay. Tashika, same question.
I would say that I also agree there was and there still is a lack of resources. These things are not easily found, and I found the RIDE program on just clicking on an ad on Facebook. I'm always looking for different opportunities and things of that nature, but I don't think that it's easily displayed or return to find this type of information or assistance with trying to become entrepreneurs as it is in the RIDE program. So.
All right, well, we definitely appreciate the love with that. So Janine, I'm not sure if there are any questions online. I'll open it up if anybody have any questions out there. You have, three individuals who took three different pathways to entrepreneurship. And the Breakthrough podcast is all about helping entrepreneurs discover different pathways. So are there any questions that you all may have out there? Yes, sir.
And this is for all three of you, if you don't mind. What were the most challenging things that you faced trying to start your own entrepreneurship, your own organization?
Well, since I have a nonprofit organization, it was finding grants, like grant writers and getting grants. And then also, what I think we lack is understanding that not only do you have to become an entrepreneur and have entrepreneur skills to be able to start your own business or organization, you have to then sustain it through grants, through getting your taxes and things done. And I think that's the portion that we often are not letting folks know. Like, yeah, it's cool to start your own business. Anybody can go get an EIN number in a couple of seconds, right? That's easy. But what about the actual, having an accountant, keeping your books and all that stuff that was really triggering for me So for me, that was triggering because my crime was a financial crime. So that was triggering to even have to like be able to like step up and even want to do that part of it, right? So understanding that and being able to sustain that, sustain your business and your organization. Yeah.
Sammy or Tashika?
Ladies first.
Tashika, you want to respond?
For me, it would be, and I say this to this day, would be self-doubt. My doubt and fear is the one thing that got in the way of me really taking steps on this journey a little sooner, and also fear of not being able to apply for loans with my credit, just all of those basic things that we would think would hold us back. And being in this program has allowed me to flourish in finding resources for my business grants, things that I never thought that I would be capable of. So, whereas though I thought money was an issue, I thought that I couldn't be an entrepreneur. Everything that I said that I couldn't do, I did. So it definitely was self-doubt.
And I would say for me, capital, of course, like you said, to sustain a business takes money. Right? Anybody can go get an LLC and EIN number, right? But to sustain a company and sustain a business is right, the capital and the guidance, right? We come from a place where you don't really see business owners, right? And just the blueprint to be an entrepreneur, to do this thing the right way. And for me, the urge, one of the hardest things for me too as well was the urge of not going back to the illegal way, the illegal fast money, right? Because you know how fast you can make the money, right? So that was the urge to do this thing for myself the right way, right, legally. So just try to stay motivated, capital, and just support, right? Support is like the biggest thing, especially from somebody that you care from, you care what their ideas are for you, things like that. And when they don't support, it's just like, you want to do that? How are you going to do that? How? And just, that'll deter your whole dream. So it's like she said, your own self motivation. So.
Absolutely. One of the things that when I'm working with entrepreneurs, we focus on first on the mindset. Because if you're not right, then your business is not going to be right. So we focus on that. So I'm getting chills up here because I've been working with Tashika and Sandy for 3 years, meaning that, giving them advice, giving them feedback. Just meeting you, Kiana, which is good because you got that mortgage stuff, or we're gonna know each other more. So what keeps you motivated to do the things that you're doing in business?
Young people to go first. Well, it's my ecosystem. I'm a part of a very large ecosystem, both nationally and hyper locally.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm a part of the National Council of Incarcerated, for formerly incarcerated women and girls. I'm also a part of the movement for Black Lives. And so it is my connections, not only in Maryland, but it's my connections across this country that actually hold me up and keep me grounded and support me in the work that I do. So it's actually absolutely when they say your network is your network, that's absolutely true, right? Relationships mean everything to me. And so like being able to have those deep relationships and being in deep community and not being transactional with people, right? I'm not a transactional person. I want to build community. We bail women out from jail in the state of Maryland, right? And so, when we bring those women home, I am the work, right? And so when you say entrepreneur, I'm like, maybe I'm just at work. I'm get up and do every day what it's called for me to do. Uncle Sam said I gotta be a nonprofit organization, so I gotta follow the rules. But truth be told, I don't clock in and out. I am the work. I go to sleep to work, I wake up to work, I do everything as the work, right? And so, yeah, it's my connections and being able to be connected.
She can go next.
Can you repeat that question, please?
Yes. So the question is basically, what keeps you doing the work that you're doing? What's your mindset like, the help that keeps you focused on not only Tashika, your family, but your business as well?
The most important thing that I always said was that I wish that somebody would have been there for me the way that I can be there for other people now when I was at my lowest point. And there was not a lot of me's around. I didn't have anybody that would give me free information or walk me through things or something. So quite like Kiana said, I feel like it's important for me to start with the small people and elevate. It's not about the money for me. And I always say that as well, that it's something that I enjoy doing and it gives me a purpose. And so I just feel like that's what keeps me going. It keeps me motivated to be able to allow other people to follow in my footsteps and really take ownership of their life.
There's several things that probably motivate me. My daughter, my daughter's name is Sammy as well. Once I had her, it really opened my eyes to want to own some things, to leave to her. So just trying to leave some stardust for her, right? Two, it's kind of embedded in me, entrepreneurship from my mom. Standing right there, she's like serial entrepreneur of the year. Like she's just always been an entrepreneur. So it's kind of like embedded in me to own something, not work for somebody else. And then three, my back, right? My back motivates me. Like it get manually when coming up my whole life, right? Not using my brain to make a dollar and using my back, right? At the warehouse to lift boxes and driving the forklift or whatever it is I did, right? And I had to talk with myself and promise my back I would stop using you to make money and I would start using my brain to make money. So ever since then, I've been on.
I love it. I love it. So Janine, I'm not sure if you can still hear me. Are there any questions online? Are there any questions here in person? Questions?
Yeah, what advice would you give to somebody trying to follow in your footsteps of routes to take and what routes not to take?
That was my last question. I was going to ask that, but that's right. What advice? Good question.
You go first this time.
The advice I would give is seek mentorship, seek guidance, right? From somebody you respect, right? Willing to learn to be willing to listen, right? Because that's the most, biggest part is our ego. We think we know something, we completely don't, and that's me, and I'm working on that too. Just search for guidance. We're trying to do this thing with no blueprint.
I would say really have faith in yourself. Like it really, I think that saying having faith the size of a mustard seed is like something that means so much to me, more than it's ever meant, because I've always dreamed of having a business and I've always knew that I was meant to do something bigger than just working for somebody else, but I didn't know how. And that doubt was in my head for so long, and like all you have to do is take a chance. And the crazy thing is when I first started the salon, I got a suite and everything, and I felt like because I didn't really fully accomplish what I wanted to do, I was a failure. And I had a lot of people in my ear telling me that even though it might not have worked out the way you wanted it to, you really saw a business from the beginning to the end. You saw it through and you accomplished something that a lot of people can't do. So something that I never thought that I would have ever done, I did it. And it's because I got out of my own head. And I just got to say, take a chance on yourself.
Well, my advice is, and most of you watched, I think it's Players Club. They said it best in that movie, but make the money and don't let the money make you. Right? And, and that's really so true. Even myself, like when I first started, I came home in 2017. August of 2017, almost 6 years now. And so when I came home, I was determined before I went away, I worked for the federal government for 11 years. And so when I came home and I started doing this, and I said, I'm going to be in this nonprofit entrepreneurship. I Ubered in the morning, right? And I wrote grants in the daytime, and then I Ubered at night. Because I wasn't getting no money at first. And there's going to be times that there's going to be where you're not going to get that money at first. And even at the stage where I was not getting the money and not getting the grants, when the grants did start coming in, I still won't take grants from certain people, right? I won't take grants from the government. I won't take federal, because I'm an abolitionist and I believe in what I believe in. And I don't, what I'm saying? There's certain things that I personally won't do according to my own personal morals and values. So again, I would say, if this is what you want to do, you make the money and do not allow it to make you. Do not sell your soul for the money, because it's not, trust me, the money will come, right? As long as you stay consistent in what you believe and do what it is that you say you're going to do and stand and stick on your word, the money will come. Do something else in the meantime until that money comes. But do not sell yourself, your soul, your business, or your what you have just to get $1. That is not going to take. You're going to be miserable and you're going to have a real lonely life, and it probably won't work for long anyway.
Did anybody else have questions online?
Yeah, there was one question. What are strategies that citizens can take to advocate for ex-convicts and assist them in their successful return to society on their road to redemption? That's a good one.
I would like for that.
Tashika would like to answer that.
I think it's important for you to drop that ex-convict mentality. Number one, because I feel like society puts that on us, and it's like it's in our head so much that that's almost like a part of our identity. And so, number one, I would definitely drop that. Number two, like for me, I'm always speaking to every and anybody that I know. I don't care if you're a convict, I don't care if you're not, because this program has so many different types of programs, not only geared towards felons. So I always just network. I talk to people. I make sure that I let them know what it is I offer. And you never know what other people have to offer if you don't start a conversation. So it's really just about opening your mouth and see what comes back to you. But definitely drop that convict mentality and just think of yourself as anybody else. You're capable as anybody else. Like you can find anything that you need. And I started with nothing, low credit, no money. Like everything that I had, I got it out the mud. Like honestly.
You don't want to address that? No, put some other question.
That's another question.
All right. So here's my thing. This is just not for those individuals who are formerly incarcerated, but this goes out to all entrepreneurs. But since we're here and we're focusing on you all, the three of you, let me just put this out there. What if, I'm always running into entrepreneurs that, even nonprofits are entrepreneurs, they're business. They are 1 to 2 person operation. What if you all decide that instead of having, Sammy doing what he's doing individually, Kiana, you doing what you're doing individually, and Tashika, you're doing what you're doing individually, but to join forces where you're building up a business. So moving from entrepreneurship to small business. Have you all ever thought about that concept? Joining forces instead of just
So
having a solo entrepreneur, you join forces and you become a small business versus an entrepreneur.
I do also want to say something about that because that rehab program that you guys provided for us to attend by Mr. Lubon, that program was to introduce us to how to rehab houses and basically the anatomy of rehab and houses. And that program ended this month. Mr. Lubon decided that he was going to take the people, which it ended up being 4 people at the end of the class, myself as one. He's going to take us all four and to create a business from us sticking through this class, and then we're going to um, go into rehab housing with him from start to finish. We're going to start a project. So these are 4 individuals that also attended the RIDE program and came together on different from different programs. And then we all ended up in this class. And now we're about to have a business funded by someone that's really taking a chance on us, all because we just showed up. We showed up to this program. It was free from you guys. I didn't know what to expect, never had real estate background. And all of a sudden, I'm about to be a business owner with these individuals. So
That's good. I mean, that's good. I know we've all talked about that, and I'm glad that it's coming to fruition. So I mean, it's always good to see. You know, I know that when you started this as you become the founder, that's your baby. You know, I think sometimes there are so many type of businesses that the businesses can join forces. And I just remember when I was a lender, you know, there was a black owned, I'm not gonna mention the name, but y'all probably know from Baltimore, if you're from Baltimore, there were two black owned grocery stores. And at the time, all of these, I'm gonna say the larger companies were not coming into the black community. So we said to them, hey, let's get together, let's form an opportunity where you guys can become a larger grocery store. Well, by now you know that didn't happen. And now you see, you know, all these other grocery stores coming into the community. So say they were small business, so entrepreneurs. You know, how can we take the entrepreneurs from being an entrepreneur and being a small business? Not just here locally, but nationally. Well, first you have to build the systems first, and you got to trust one another as well as you do that. So I just throw it out there, and I'm glad Chica that Lubon is doing that with the 4 individuals that are part of that. So that was just a big thinking right there, you know, and hopefully we can get back to that. All right, any other questions or comments before we close?
There was I don't know if the question, it says from Lamont Bell, the question was, what does entrepreneur mean to them?
We missed that, did they say it again?
I'm sorry?
We missed a question or comment?
It says, what does entrepreneur mean to them, our panelists?
I still missed that.
What does entrepreneurship mean to us?
Chica, Sam?
for me, it just, you know, it's everything that everybody said that I couldn't do. It's just proof that I could be and I could do whatever I want to be. And my one little voice can affect so many people. Like I don't have to be anybody famous to make noise. And I have been doing that. So for me, it just means that I'm serving a greater purpose bigger than myself.
Entrepreneurship to me means courage, to get up and have the courage because it's scary, right? As a person who works for the federal government for 11 years, I got some good benefits, right, from the federal government, you know, retirement, pension, all those things. And like, when you think about it, sometimes I'm like, well, this does not offer those same things and those same benefits that the government, you know, offers, thrift savings plans and all those other things. And so it's scary. Every day I get up, I'm scared. I'm like, you know, this is kind of scary. What you gonna do? I'm 42. So, you know, 50, 60, 70 years old. What am I gonna do? But to still, again, be consistent and push forward and understanding that it's gonna work out. So for me, it means courage.
For me, entrepreneurship means why not me? That's what I think of. Why not me? When I go in the buildings, I go in the malls, and I know somebody owns this mall, right? 'Cause I'm just like, why not me? Everything I do, I just think, why not me? Every store I step into, somebody owns the store. Somebody's the owner of this. Why not me? So it's like, why not me?
Yeah, why not?
That's what it means to me.
Absolutely. All right, so one last question, and that is, we got another question or
No,
comment today?
Grace, that's all we have on this end.
All right, so let's give out your contact information and any final thoughts you want to add. And we'll start with you, Sam.
You can actually, if you're looking for employment, not right now, I don't have contracts in the state of Maryland. Well, I have contracts in every other state except Maryland and New York. But if you're interested in working from home, making up $17 an hour, you can reach DCS website. I have contracts in DC. My website is sqsremotestaffing.com. Just apply on there, it'll come straight to me. I'll pull your application through. And just go, just do it. Just don't, just optimism. I live off of optimism. I'm not a pessimistic person, not one bit. So why not you?
All right, that's gonna be a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Why not me?
We need to
And on the back, why not you?
make sure we partner up first. I am an entrepreneur, man.
All right, Chica.
You can get in contact with me. The best way is facebook.com and then /get laced, and get laced is GETLAYCED. Generally people send me messages on there. I'm quick to respond. If you have any questions, you need guidance, you want to know about grant writing, like anything, I'm an open book. So whatever you need help with, I'm more than happy to help you out.
All right, Kiana, take us on.
Kiana Johnson is my name, and my organization is Life After Release. You can find us under the hashtag Life After Release on all social media. You can Google us, everything will pop up. You can also text us at 240-200-4472. Text or call us, we go directly. And again, my last words is that understand that all things are working together for your good, regardless of what it may look like right now, what it may have looked like in the past. But if you believe that all things are lining up for your good, that will help you be consistent and that will help you stay on your path.
All right, good deal. So Chica, Saturday, Kiana, thank you for coming on board on the BreakThrough podcast. Really appreciate you all. And thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, continue to improve and progress. Peace.